Hello again. This is number 6 in our series on the path to Game 2. It's 6 out of 12, so we're halfway there. In the first 5, I've been talking about Game 2 as something personal and the key steps along the way. How it starts when you're Game 2 curious. You want to find out what it is and you want to look for it. So you step off the path, you look for delta. You activate your change intelligence and you open your mind to jumps in your thinking. Well, Game 2 is personal, that's how it works. But it's designed as a team game. It's for teams that want to do better, not just a little better, a lot better. And when you start to look for Game 2 as a team, things change immediately. When you find Game 2, the change should be exponential. So, if you've come this far along the path on your own, it's time to go back and find your team and perhaps say this to them. Is it possible that we could be twice as good as a team? And they'd say, is that even possible? And you'd say, oh yes it is, but we do have to find Game 2. And they say, well, what's Game 2? And that's how it begins. When you begin to be Game 2 curious as a team, then you go looking as a team. You step off the path and look for delta as a team. You activate your change intelligence, your CQ, as a team, and you open up your mind as a team, as the team mind, to jumps in your thinking as a team. But before you go back and light the blue touch paper on this Game 2 team challenge, there's a key question for you. Who is your team? Are you part of a clearly defined work team, for example, or are you at the center of a network of shifting relationships, or some combination of the two? Well, whichever it is, the same questions apply. Who's in it? Who's not in it? What are the edges of your team? What are the boundaries? How does it work? So let me ask you another question. Draw a tree. If I asked you to draw a tree, what would you draw? Most people in the first world, most adults, would draw a tree from the ground up. Some, not many, would draw it from the ground up and the roots as well, the whole tree. Well, that's not how Australian Aboriginals see a tree. They don't just look at the trunk and the roots, they look at everything in it and everything that's around it. The earth, the air, the fungus, the moss, insects, beetles, the worms, the birds, and the spirit. They don't see the tree as an individual thing, they see it as part of a richly interconnected, living, conscious system. So, before you call your team into Game 2, check who's in it and check again how you see them and how you see them connecting. Where are the edges? What are the boundaries? Does it include the people that would be allocated to your team now, or could they be new people that you want to share this journey to Game 2 with? So that's your homework from this session, and that's the key task before we move on. Get a big piece of paper and do a map of your team, like a mind map. Put your name in the middle, put names around it, and keep going, putting names and names around it until you've run out of space, run out of names. And then stand back and look at it. How many names are on this map, and what do you think of them? How do they connect with each other? Who stands out? Who are the most important? What have you got, 50 names? Well, pick 10. 10's a good number. Pick the 10 that you want to work with most closely. The 10 would make the most difference if you went with them on the hunt for Game 2. That's your Game 2 team. You could call them your Team 2. Your top 10, your Team 2. Your success will depend entirely on two things. How well, the quality of your connection with this team, and the quality of the connection of this team with everybody around you, with everybody beyond you on the map and everybody beyond them on the map as well, including your customers. Game 1 is how you do this now. Game 1 plus would be a much better way of doing it. But Game 2 means jumping to a different level in the quality and the richness and the power of your connection with each other, with the people around you and the people around them, all the way through to your customers. Imagine jumping not to being a little better in this, but being twice as good, and then twice as good again. That is the jump to Game 2. See what that does. See what that would do to your experience, to the value you create, and to the experience of the people around you and the people you connect with, including your customers. That is the Game 2 Team Challenge. So get your paper, do your map, pick Team 2, strap in and get ready for takeoff. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.